a sledge, you'll have your eye out with that billhook, and you half blind as it is.
Ah, Eamon.
Nashi.
Saw the old gate was falling asunder when I got up here, and the fence down. I'm doing a patch-up job.
With a billhook? Here, let me give it a few whacks with this hurl.
They let you out.
Good behaviour.
I saw the ambulance going down the lane yesterday evening.
Yeah, they dropped me home in it.
They didn't give you a crutch.
Ah, I prefer this old hurl. More used to it.
Ah, there's the geese flying down the lake. Winter is here.
Yeah. Do you see the way the crows are nesting lower this year in the ring fort beyond? A bad sign. Frost coming, I'd say.
'Twill soon be Christmas, Eamon.
Aye.
How long were you in there at all?
Oh, a month anyway.
And how are you?
Bit stiff is all. Have to do these exercises the physio one gave me.
And your head? You still have a bandage on?
Well, 'twas a big cut. Oh, dear. Oh, did I see the post van in your yard this morning?
Ah, no.
Who was it drove in?
Nobody.
I saw the post van.
No.
I definitely saw the van in your yard.
No post today. I heard 'twas touch and go with you in there for a while.
Did you know?
Oh, I thought I was going to have to iron the shirt.
Oh, a rare event.
Mind you, I wound up having to iron one anyway.
Poor old Martin, huh? That's his bag of turf still lying there. Good black turf, too.
You missed the funeral?
How could I have gone?
That's right, of course.
He went quick in the finish.
Poor old Frigger.
Was he complaining at all?
Yeah, was he ever doing anything else? No, there wasn't a bother on him. Pull that bit of wire up there, will you?
Right. And what happened to him at all?
They say his heart.
That was always a weakness in the MacBryans. Remember Albert, the uncle? Keeled over, snagging turnips on the hill.
God be good to him.
Aye. Died in Brannigan's, I heard. Martin.
Tripped going into the lounge, that was it. Well, looked like he tripped. They say he was gone before he hit the ground.
Are you sure it wasn't coming out of the lounge he tripped?
No, I know. No, he was fond of it, but now don't be trying to incinerate that. 'Twas his heart.
Ah, the poor old devil. Did you stick your head in above while I was away?
I didn't like to. Did they mess the place up on you?
They did, the bastards. The pint is bad in Brannigan's since John Joe Ryan sold it.
It is. Do you know what Martin said?
Huh?
They were charging him for a glass of wine. €8.
Lord almighty. What was he doing, drinking wine?
Sure, he was off the drink. Red wine. That's what he drank when he was on the dry.
Oh, maybe that's what's killed him. You know, I could have sworn I saw the post van this morning.
How long is John Joe dead?
John Joe? Oh, must be 10 years.
You could eat your dinner off the floor when he had the place. Kitty was a whore with a mop.
She was. Mind you, she was that without the mop.
Ah,
Oh, jeez. Now, Betty Brannigan now. She wouldn't be the cleanest. Who was she again?
she was Betty Torpy as was, from beyond Kilradden.
Ah,
Mick Torpy was her father. Used to take the horse and cart to the creamery years ago. Hurled corner forward for Lynn Begg.
can't place him.
He had a sister that was a dwarf.
A dwarf?
You remember her? Me G. She was always knitting in mass.
Ah, Mikey Torpy. Not Mick, Mikey. A sniggy little hurler, hard as a bag of onions.
Them cigarettes will kill you.
They can join the queue. Whatever happened, the sister, the dwarf?
Not a whole lot. Didn't get any taller anyway.
No.
Wound up in a home. She died, I think.
The home is no way to finish up.
Well,
Well, what? Don't tell me you want to wind up there.
I don't know. 3 meals a day, television, heat, warm bed, hot shower.
Feckin' showers. That's what's given everyone all the colds.
Nice nurses tucking you in.
Tucking you in me ass. There was no shortage of nurses where I'm after coming from, and there was no tucking in, I can tell you. You go in that door, you only come out the one way.
What's the alternative for us, would you tell me?
What are we talking about this for? What?
I don't know. Listen, about the post van.
Oh, yeah, Brannigan's. We were saying Betty is a dirty type.
Maybe you were right.
What are you saying?
Nothing. Here now, we can lift this case onto the hinge pin now.
Right, drop her. Ah, lovely hurling.
Sure, it'll do a few more winters even if we don't. Are you all right?
Oh, I'm fine. Tell me, what's happening Martin's place now?
I left it to the sister beyond.
Bridget? In America?
Yeah. She's the only one left. Should have got married years ago when he had the chance. No more than yourself.
Did she even come home for the funeral?
Oh, she did. The little Yank husband with her. Big long coat on her. All dolled up.
I bet she was. And she getting her claws into 30 acres.
There was people nearer than America didn't go to the funeral at all.
I couldn't go, could I, between me head and me hip, and I laid up.
I didn't mean you.
I suppose they were all talking about me, were they?
Sure, the day that was in it, I don't think your name came up.
No, I bet it didn't. And me after having the daylights kicked out of me in me own house. Do you know how many visitors I had in hospital?
Sure, I had no way of getting to you. You know I failed eye test.
I know all about your eyesight and your driving licence. One visitor is all I had.
I know.
What do you mean you know?
I knew Martin went to see you.
Why didn't you come?
Well, didn't like to see you like that. I prefer to remember you the way you were.
What are you talking about? Haven't I still here? Jesus, you have me dead before I'm even gone.
You know what I mean. I was sorry after. Martin got a grand haircut in town, €7. Looked right well at the Team of 59 reunion. You missed that too.
I know. Here, hold the steak. Hold the steak there and I'll wallop it.
It was a grand night.
Yeah.
Martin was in flying form.
Were you at it?
I went with Martin.
No.
Oh, did you see his photo in the Gazette?
No.
I kept the page. Look at him there, look.
Oh.
Your old midfield partner, huh? Had to think he'd be a goner only days later.
Yeah. That's you beside him.
Yeah, that's me. At the top table.
The top table. You weren't even on the team in 59.
Oh, I think I was. I think I got a run out.
You no more got a run out than Bab Lawler's ass.
Well, Father Mara said, seeing as how so many of the team was absent, it might look better if I took your place.
Father Mara. He's another one of them.
Ah, sure, it was only an old evening out.
And your face in the paper. Anything there about me being in hospital?
No.
No. Might as well be dead.
Well, you were missed. Oh, indeed you were. How's Eamon McConnell? A few of them asked me. They were talking about the solo run you did to score the winning goal in the final.
Who was talking about me?
Well, I can't remember exactly. There was a fair few talking about you, though.
Fair few me ass. You have a letter there, I see.
Huh?
I said, I see you have a letter sticking out of your coat.
Oh, yeah.
I thought you said the postman didn't come today.
That's an old letter. I have it for a while.
Looks new enough to me. What is it?
It's just an old form, that's all.
Not from that official that was down here last summer, is it?
Who?
That bollocks that came down from Dublin in the jumper and the sandals told us we couldn't cut any more turf below. What did he call the bog?
A special area of conservation. But you can put in for the compensation.
Get paid to sit on me arse when I could be doing the turf in the fresh air. That's what has the country the way it is. Is that what your form is for? Compensation?
Oh, no.
Well, what is it then?
That is nothing.
How come you never got me to read it?
Well, why?
Why, sure, don't I read all the forms for you, with your feckin' eyesight?
Well, manage this one myself. Look, can we leave it so?
Fine.
He wasn't the worst of them, Martin.
Yeah, indeed he wasn't.
And all the rows you had. What were you always arguing about?
I don't know. Nothing. Our last row was about me billhook. I thought he had it, but now I see it as you have it.
I'm sorry, Em. I thought 'twas mine. 'Twas in Martin's yard ages ago and I just grabbed it. Me old eyes, you know.
You see enough, I think.
What had Martin to say when he came to see you?
He hoped I'd get home soon. Didn't want to be stuck so far in off the road with just you for company.
Did they take much when they robbed you?
Why?
No why.
They took the bit of money I got for last summer's turf from the cupboard behind the range.
Oh, that's shocking.
Aye. Funny, though. They knew exactly what they were looking for and where it was. Isn't that strange?
I suppose the guards have a few, what do you call them, leads.
Leads. They know as much about what's going on as a pig knows about baking a cake. The barracks is shut about half the time. A timetable on the wall saying when they're available, just to make sure the thugs know when to terrify us at their leisure.
The guards knew they were about the place.
What?
Paddy Devine saw them that day, driving down the bog lane.
Saw who?
The robbers. They had them balaclava yokes on their faces. Paddy pulled across the lane in his jeep, and didn't he have the shotgun on the seat? So he phoned the guards. Says he, I'm here on the bog lane with the gun beside me, and a gang with balaclavas is after going down past me in a van. I won't let them drive out, says he, until you get here.
What did the guards do?
You're not going to believe what he said to him.
Who?
Tierney, the guard. You know him, the redhead. Awful-looking young fella.
I know him. What did he say?
Says he, now I'm only quoting what Paddy Devine told me. Says he, the guard I mean, and not Paddy.
Will you for Jesus' sake tell me what he said?
Says he, pull your jeep back off that lane immediately and let them go. We know who they are and they're heavily armed.
So he let them go.
Had to. Tierney said if he used the gun, 'tis Paddy'd be in the wrong.
And then they came to me.
Aye. That very same night.
Well, that beats all.
You're probably safer not keeping money in the house.
There was feck all to take only me bit of turf money. Why didn't they rob you, I wonder?
What did make you say that?
Maybe it was you they wanted to rob, and they got the wrong house. Sure, everyone knows about your loose floorboard. Communion money probably still there.
There's nothing under my floorboard. Nuala had me put everything in the bank.
Did she now? Well, isn't she the cute little whore?
If you're going to talk about me niece like that, I'm going home.
Feel that? Good black turf, that is. Martin always had good turf.
He always left a bag here.
A bag for the bog, he'd say. Good luck for the following year.
Hey, what are you doing?
Stand in there. The gate is the goals. Try and stop this kippeen with the billhook.
Hold on. I'll take off my coat.
Are you ready?
Not too hard now. Mind your hip.
McConnell is on the 21. The whistle's about to blow. Time is up. He bends. He lifts. He strikes.
Save! A great save by the mighty Ignatius Finn from the hill.
Oh, nothing wrong with your eyes there.
You probably took it easy on me.
Oh,
Saved the turf. Do you get it?
huh?
Saved the turf.
Very droll.
Did you hear our current crop of misfits? Lost to the Temple Crowley Juniors.
To the juniors, they're not training right, and they're not eating right either. I see them on the bridge after Mass, a few that still go, that is, sitting eating feckin' ice creams, syrup dripping off them, that'd sit in your gut for a week. Whatever happened to bacon and cabbage? No one eats that anymore. Of course, you can't get right bacon now either. Little slivers of things on the pan now that you'd read the newspaper through. And then, when you're frying these yolks, there's all this white stuff coming out of them. White stuff oozing out of the bacon. And you know what that is, of course.
No. What?
Sure, the pigs must be eating ice cream as well. Hey, look beyond. Where's the rest of the sheep? I only see Cleary's sheep. Where's Martin's sheep on the hill?
Sure, they're gone.
Gone where?
Bridget and the Yank husband got rid of them. Sold them to a fella from Mayo.
Sold them? That quick? And not even to a local?
Who was going to look after them?
And the hill empty now.
Here now, there's another thing I heard.
What?
Paddy Devine's youngest, Jennifer. She drives the scooter for the Cinnamon Szechuan.
Drives the scooter?
Yeah, does the deliveries.
Christ almighty. And all the schooling she got. Winds up driving a scooter.
No, she's still at school. Won't be finishing till next year. She's doing what they call the transition year.
Jesus, what's that?
It's a new scheme where they take a year off and do what they like to help them figure out what they want to do.
A year off? To help them figure... Who pays for that?
Oh, I don't know. Comes out of somewhere, I suppose.
Hey, Lord. 'Tis well for him. And she's driving for who? The scooter?
The Cinnamon Szechuan. The big new Chinese restaurant where the handball alley used to be. Oh, that's the in-place now.
Sure, that's more of it. And what are you telling me all this for?
Didn't Jennifer see Bridgie McBrien and the Yank husband having a big chat in the restaurant with your man from Aurora?
The windmill fella?
Wind Energy, yeah. It brochures all over the table. He paid for the dinner. Spicy stuff burned the head off you, Jennifer says. He paid for all the drinks too, which is more than the little Yank husband did after Martin's funeral, I can tell you.
They're letting them crowd in onto the hill.
Seemingly, they're going to put a big wind turbine on it. Huh? €1 million each of them cost.
What?
Here now, keep tapping them stakes.
And all the times Martin told them where to go with their windmills. Wouldn't have them next nor nigh the place.
Someone was saying them turbines make so much power they'll have extra left over to sell to England.
€1 million to destroy our hill with those yokes, so we can sell power to the Brits, and you and me can't cut a bag of turf below for our own fires. Oh, there's something wrong somewhere, Nessie.
Hey, there is, Eamon. Something wrong somewhere.
Martin will be turning in his grave, Lord of mercy, and he hardly in it.
I'm not sure if he will. I think Martin started the ball rolling with that crowd before he died.
Oh?
Had him in surveying, doing all kinds of measurements.
Typical Martin, throwing in the towel. A great man when you're 5 points up, but if you're 2 down with a minute to go, he goes missing.
Well, he's gone missing now, anyway.
Feckin' quitter, that's what he was.
Eamon, don't smash up that bit of turf. Sure, the poor man was entitled to make arrangements for his future.
Oh, and what arrangements have you made?
Well, maybe Martin felt it was time to take it easy. He wasn't going to stay going up and down that hill for too many more winters, was he? He wasn't even looking forward to Christmas. On his own on Christmas Day last year he was, all day.
So was I.
Why didn't you call down to him?
Because.
Oh, you were going through one of your not-talking phases. No, I'm not blaming you. I'm saying maybe he decided he had enough hardship.
And the minute he decided to stop, he keeled over, didn't he? That's what happens. Fellas stop what they've been doing all their lives and take the soft option, and the next thing, bang, they're gone, out the gap. You won't see me going down that road.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to get fit again, Nessie, that's what. When this hip is better, I'm going to join that body sculpt place in the town.
The gymnasium?
Yeah.
You gone mad altogether.
Why wouldn't I? I heard this doctor in the hospital telling a fella beside me all about these fitness programs, and this fella was 10 stone heavier than I am.
Probably 20 years younger.
What are you trying to say?
Well, we're not going to live forever, are we?
Why aren't we? Who made that rule? How do you know but I might be the first man to live forever? I might. You know why? Because I'm not going to give in. That's why. Attitude, Nashi. That's the mistake people make. They give up, and they bring it on themselves. I think it, therefore I am it. Plato said that, the philosopher. And he knew his stuff. Well, I have no intention of dying. You can keep your dying. I'll be cutting turf next summer, and the summer after that, and the summer after that again, and woe betide whoever tries to stop me. Where are you going?
I'm going down to put on a few spuds for me dinner.
Hold on a minute. I haven't seen anyone write for weeks. I have something to ask you. Hold on and talk to me.
Listen to you mean.
What?
Let me get a word in. There's no talking to you when you're in this humour.
What do you want to talk about?
Nothing. I just want to go and put on me dinner.
What are you having?
You'd never guess.
What?
Bacon and cabbage. Bit of white stuff on the side.
Go away out of that, you pillock.
You'll come down for a bit.
I won't bother.
Here I do. Maybe we'd manage a drop. Seeing as you're home.
Oh, sure I might so. Never got a chance to get a few messages. The ambulance wouldn't stop at the Lidl coming home. Oh, that reminds me. I need you after the dinner.
For what?
I want you to give me a leg up on the Massey.
You can't drive the 3.5 in your state.
I can so. All I need is a leg up.
You're not driving into the Lidl, are you?
Why not? Anyway, I want to get a right look at the land since I was away.
Yeah, the land is no different, I assure you. And how will you get down off it?
I'll jump off that bridge when I come to it.
Right. Well, we'll worry about the tractor later. Come on away down. I'll leave this bill hook here. We'll finish this fence off after dinner.
The blessings of God on you, Nashi. Grand supper tea. And a fine dinner it was, too. Oh, yeah. Great heat out of that range when it's open.
Here, let me put a drop of this in it.
Go handy. I'm not used to whiskey in the day.
Well, good health.
Good health is right. Oh, that's strong stuff. You know, there's something different in here. Is the place looking a bit bare or what?
Yeah, I did a bit of a clean out.
The old pictures are gone. And Eileen's little statues. And the old couch by the dresser. And the wireless, where's that? The old Marconi.
Sure, I gave a few bits to Nuala and Father Mara. Only gathering dust they were.
That wireless was an antique, wasn't it?
It was, but 'twas crackling. Father Mara gave me that grand little transistor instead.
I'll bet he did.
Huh?
Nothing. It's just I can't understand. What?
Whisht, will you?
What?
Did you hear that?
What?
Whisht.
Don't you be whistling me. Oh, jeez, me hip. Oh, Getting up is the worst.
That's a van. Come back from the window, will you?
I said, Jesus, I can look out the window, can't I? It's gone now, whoever it was. You all right? You look a bit worried.
I'm grand.
You hardly ever see a car back here now, or even up at the road since the bypass. One time, if you saw the lights of a car hitting the cow house at night, you'd be reaching for the kettle, expecting a bit of news or something. Now you see lights at night, you're reaching for the gun.
Are you not afraid
Of what?
that they'll come back?
So what can I do? Only soldier on.
It was very quiet down here with the both of you gone.
I suppose it was. What did you do with yourself at all?
Well, sure. When I got tired looking out, I went out and looked in. Joking aside. Joking aside, only for Father Mara dropping me to the churchyard to change Eileen's flowers and calling down the few times with the messages I'd have seen nary a soul at all. And my own niece hardly called down on me, Ivan.
Father Mara. He'd rob you without the ballyclava.
Oh, no, good Christian man is what he is.
Yes, and his legs under every half-right table in the town.
Well, if it's a thing I don't live forever, I'd be leaving him a few pounds.
For what?
For the church roof. The restoration fund.
Well, Jesus, that beats all. How long have they been restoring that roof now?
I don't know.
25 years. 25 years they've been codding the few shillings we have out of us for a roof. That's no difference now than when they started this feckin' scam.
Ah, no, it's not a scam.
Is it not? There's not a whole lot wrong with his own roof, you'll notice. And a carpet above under him in his sitting room, you could sink to the axle in it. And a fine car parked on his new gravel.
What exactly are you saying?
I'm saying you'd want to cop onto yourself, Nashi.
The whole world is wrong with you today.
The whole world is wrong this long time, and you throwing your few pound to Father Mara isn't going to fix it. The minute me back is turned, the vultures are in. That's a square ball of a move, if ever there was one. You're being taken advantage of, Nashi. That's all I'm saying.
Well, that's something at least.
What is?
That you finished talking about it.
Come on. We'll go up and finish the fence. If you're up to it.
Yeah, sure, I have to be up to it. I left me friggin' coat up there, didn't I?
And bring your hammer and a few fresh nails if you have them.
I just tidied these into the sink. You're puffing a bit. The crush would be better than that hurdle.
Don't remember the lane being so steep. I'll just sit here on the bank a minute. Get me breath.
You're not going to get your breath smoking.
Jesus, you're worse than the doctors. Did I tell you they thought it was a miracle I found the strength to phone the ambulance for myself?
No.
You know, 'tis a wonder. 'Tis a wonder you saw nor heard nothing that night.
What are you trying to say?
Nothing. Only You'd usually hear a van on the lane.
Must have gone to bed early that night. What are you looking at me like that for?
I'm only looking at you, is all. What the hell is wrong with you?
Nothing. What did you ask me?
What?
Over the gate earlier. You wanted to ask something.
Ah, I was only wondering, will you be going to Newla's again for Christmas?
Well...
Because if 'twas a thing you didn't feel like going to, I'd say it can be lively there with the kids.
Sure, they're all grown up now.
Aren't they? Anyway, I was going to say, you could come up to me if you wanted. Or I could go down to you, if it suits, that is. What?
I don't rightly know about Christmas yet.
Oh?
Or what I'll be doing. But if I'm around, sure, of course I'll come up to you. Thanks for asking me.
And why wouldn't you be around?
No why. Come on away up and we'll fix that fence. 'Twill be dark soon.
Right. Here. Take the end of the hurl and pull me up. Oh, jeez. Oh, Lord.
Are you all right?
Yeah. Just need to keep moving is all.
Here,
Don't
let me give
mind
you...
holding me. Jesus. Well, walk on you at your own pace. I'll catch you up.
Are you sure?
Go on, will you? You can hammer a few nails in without me, what?
I'm after forgetting the hammer.
Oh, jeez, didn't I say bring a hammer? Go on away up and don't be mithering me. Oh, Jesus. If he had brains, he'd be dangerous. Right, Eamon. One step at a time. Oh. I'll tell you one thing, Nashi. The feckin' bed takes it out of you. I say the bed takes it out of you. What's wrong?
Look,
What?
I'm telling you. The gate.
Huh? What about... Good God. What are you after doing to it?
I did nothing to it. Someone is after smashing it to bits.
Who?
Whoever it was, that van we heard.
Sure, who do that? Smash a gate for nothing. Up here. Maybe it was a loose bullock.
A loose bullock broke the gate into pieces and then took your billhook and my coat and Martin's bag of turf.
Jesus Christ, Nashi. We'd better phone the guards.
No.
Should we have to? They might be able to catch them.
I said no. We're not phoning any guards.
Where are you going?
Over here. Leave me alone for a minute.
Are you okay, Nashi?
I can't take any more of this, Eamon.
Any more of what? Here. Shove over on that stump. Let me sit down. Oh. Bit of a nip in that breeze now.
Yeah.
Why were you carrying the billhook in the first place? It's not a lot of use to you this time of year.
I don't know. What?
Just
what?
Well, I don't think you came up here to fix the gate. I saw you out of me window. You stopped and looked down at my place, and then turned back for home, and then turned back again. 'Twas only when I stirred out you started poking at the gate.
So, what are you saying?
I don't know. And 'twas strange to see your kitchen so bare. A bit of a clean out, you said.
Yeah.
Well, whatever about getting rid of the old pictures, or the couch, or even the Marconi, which was worth a bit, there's no way you would have got rid of all your Eileen's little statues that she spent all her life collecting. God be good to her. So there's something up, Nashi. Are you going to tell me what it is? You're shaking. Are you all right?
They broke them.
What?
They smashed our little statues to pieces, same as they did that gate.
Who did?
Them dirty robbing blackguards. The night they robbed you, Eamon, they robbed me too.
Oh,
Broke everything in the place.
Oh, no.
Set fire to the couch. I managed to quench it after, but I had to throw it out. Oh, terrified I was. Terrified, out of my wits. But they got nothing. Only what was in me pockets, because I'd nothing to give.
why didn't you tell the
I
guards?
said if I breathed a word, they'd come back. Pretended I was blind, so they wouldn't bait me. Curled up in the corner, so I did, and told them to take all they wanted.
The thieving, cowardly bastards. I'm awful sorry that happened, you, Nashi. You've no need to worry now. Straighten yourself up. Dry your eyes there. We'll be grand. We'll be grand. More geese heading in.
Eamon, here.
What's that?
There's €500 there. It's for you.
For me? Why?
I tell them where you kept the turf money.
Oh,
I'm sorry, Eamon. They asked me about you, said they heard you were a bit of a tough nut. We'll see how tough he is, one of them said. I knew you'd never tell him where the money was, so I said, if they promised not to harm you.
you told them where it was.
Yeah. And they bait you anyway.
Well, I didn't make it easy for them. Put it that way.
Not like me. There's days I wish they'd beaten me too, and that's the truth. They ripped me phone out of the wall, I couldn't even warn you.
My God, Nashi. What? Oh, 'tis a sad state we're in at the end of our days.
I'm awful sorry, Eamon.
There's no need for you to be sorry. Here, put that back in your pocket. We'll say no more about it. Take it, I'm telling you. You did what you felt you had to do. You were backed into a corner. Who's to say I wouldn't have done the same myself?
You're a sound man, Eamon. Sound out. I won't forget it to you.
You know what we are, Nashi.
No, what?
We're exiles in our own God-forsaken land.
Yeah. I suppose we are.
Come on. Pull me up by this hurdle before I seize up. Oh. Good man.
What are you doing?
I'm going to fix that gate, Nashi, and you're going to help me. We'll not be beaten by him. Yeah. Might need a few new lats. Yeah, few new lats. Yeah. What's this?
That's me letter. They must have thrown it out of me coat. Give us it.
Recent application. Official confirmation. Mr. Ignatius Finn. The nursing home. You're going into the home.
I am.
When are you going?
Fortnight. That's the official confirmation. The matron told Nuala last week. I'll be in for Christmas.
That was the post van this morning. When were you going to tell me?
Sure, I was trying to. I didn't know how I was going to tell you.
You don't have to go. There's not a thing wrong with you, Nashi. If you got the proper glasses, you'd be as right as rain.
I've had enough, Eamon.
Look, you've had a bit of a shock, fair enough. But you just can't up and leave, I mean. You can't do that.
I'm tired,
Sure,
Eamon.
we're all tired. We'll get the winter over us. You'll feel different then.
No, I won't. I'm afraid, Eamon. Terrified. Every single night in my own house. I want a bit of comfort and a bit of peace. I'm entitled to it. I'm going to take the bed in the home. My mind is made up.
I'll pay you.
What?
To stay. I'll pay you to stay, whatever you want.
'Tis not money I want, Eamon. You know that.
Where does that leave me? I mean, what am I going to do now?
I don't know, Eamon.
There's no change in your mind, no?
No, Eamon.
Lord, it's not right. Exiles, Nashi. That's what we are.
Do you still want to leg up on the Massey?
No. Be dark soon, anyway.
You could stay down at my place till you get tidied up above if you wanted. Until I go, like.
I'll manage by myself, Nashi. But thanks anyway.
Right. Right. I might head away down so before it gets dark.
Aye. You know, I never saw the crows nesting as low beyond in the ring fort as this year. A bad sign.
Yeah, sure, I'd see you tomorrow. We'll fix the gate. Do a right job on it.
Yeah. Good luck, Nashi.
Good luck, Eamon. There's a hard frost coming in, I'd say. Yeah. A right hard frost.
In the Garden of the Asylum by Thomas Kilroy.
Let's sit there beneath the trees. No one will see us there. Our secret place.
What fun! But what about our travels? We are going travelling together, aren't we? You did say so. Where will you take me then?
Where would you like to go?
Well, I would rather like to go to Capri, actually.
'Twas on the Isle of Capri that I met her, 'neath the shade of an old walnut tree.
You do have a pretty voice, Miss... who on earth are you? Dr. Edward said I should come and chat with you. Said it would be good for me to chat. I've seen you about, of course, but one doesn't actually meet, does one, in this place?
We are meeting in the Forest of Arden.
Oh, come now. These are the grounds of the hospital.
Lunatic asylum. I was born in the Paupers' Ward. Trieste, Paris, Salzburg, places.
Before I was unwell in the past, travelled with father, sometimes, but not often, with mother. Also grandmother. Glorious blue skies, new smells, cooking oil, fruits. The Mediterranean opening up before one, driving down in the motor car from London. Then they sent me here. Sick, you see.
I can cure you.
You? Oh, come now. We're all sick in here, aren't we? I mean to say...
All loonies in the loony bin.
Still, a spot of travel will be absolutely the ticket, absolutely spiffing just now. What with the...
Supernatural. I am. Me. Magic.
What with the... hold on. How on earth can one get out of here, though? I've got to put my mind to that. Make plans. Escape. But how?
I can do anything. Make anything happen. Just you watch. You see, I have these helpers.
Helpers?
Sort of like angels. You can't see them, but they're here.
What? Where?
Well, there's a particularly mischievous one right now. Just beside your left ear.
Oh, you are a card. I don't mind being teased. Rather like it, actually. Being teased. Now, look here. I may have to leave soon. Bring this conversation to an end. Just to warn you. Hate surprises, personally.
What did you say your name was again?
Oh, didn't. But it's Douglas. Raymond.
Douglas Raymond.
No. Raymond Douglas.
Joyce. Lucia. Me. Lucia Joyce. Late of Trieste and points north and west.
Delighted to meet you, I'm sure, Miss Joyce. Trieste. But you are English, aren't you?
Irish. An Irlander. Ulander. Atlander.
Irish? Well, Father used to speak of the Irish. Well, he used to serve mass in prison with the Irish terrorists. Pretty decent bunch, he used to say.
Prison? Your daddy was in prison. A criminal. Ooh, goody.
No, well, not really. What I mean is, he was a member of the House of Lords, actually.
My father was a voyager. Unknown seas and lands, a cartographer of hidden places, a seeker of the forbidden, a word merchant, spinner of yarns, a swine writer. Joyce James.
Heavens! James Joyce? Well, the famous writer? Well, what a coincidence. My father was a famous writer, too. Matter of fact, Alfred Douglas.
Who?
Lord Alfred Douglas.
Lord Alfred Douglas? The sodomite?
Oh, no need to be rude.
Lord Alfred Douglas? You mean the you-know-what
No.
of Oscar Wilde? Don't believe it! Ooh la la!
I say, let's not be beastly now.
Sorry!
Do you have the time, by the way? They've taken away my watch. Have to keep watching the sun. Dashed awkward without the sundial.
Why is he making these demands on me? This fellow.
Did you say... Never mind. I simply cannot abide sniggering, you know.
Said sorry, okay.
Pursued by attackers all his life he was, Father. Wasn't able to help. I was too sick. In and out of courts he was. Put into prison. Dead now, Father. Mother dead. Grandmother dead. Don't have anyone left. Never met my grandfather. I mean, alive. But he comes to me now from beyond the grave. Scott's voice, bellowing in that way of his. Grandfather Queensbury. Dr. Edwards said we should speak to one another about our families. Why should she say such a thing? Why?
Oh, Dr. Edwards, Dr. Edwards, always Dr. Edwards!
All I'm saying, Dr. Edwards, is that you ought to be more careful putting these two patients together like that.
I see. So your only motive is concern for me, is it, Dr. Davis?
Oh, my God, Hermione, you know how perfectly well I feel about you.
Please, Bobby. Someone's coming.
What? Oh. Morning, Dr. Headley.
Morning, Davis. Good morning, Dr. Edwards.
Morning.
Been the rounds, are we? Good. Keep up the good work. Onward.
Hermione, I know you feel the same about me. I just know it. It's true, isn't it? What you feel about me.
Yes. It's just...
What is it?
It's this hospital. It's so oppressive. If only we could find some time together away from here.
Do you know, I lie awake at night in a wretched panic thinking of the risks you are taking.
Risks?
Now, look here, Hermione. What you are doing with Douglas and that Joyce woman is extremely dangerous.
Dangerous? Dangerous to whom?
Well, to the patients, obviously, but then to yourself.
Have you observed how they express their feelings so directly?
Who on earth are you talking about?
Our patients.
They are insane, Hermione. Insane.
It's as if there are no false screens or barriers between them and their most intimate feelings.
Do you actually believe that?
Yes, I think I do, rather.
There is talk, you know.
Are you trying to tell me something, Bobby?
Oh, for heaven's sake, woman.
Oh, I see. Woman. Yes. What exactly are they saying about me, Bobby? My male colleagues?
Promise not to tell.
Oh, dear, this is like school. Exchanging confidences behind teachers' back.
How on earth can you believe in this talk therapy? It's just Austrian rubbish.
Of course I believe in it. I believe we must talk to patients as full human beings. The beginnings of recovery is recovery of the patient's basic humanity.
These are psychotics, Dr. Edwards. They are long past talk. That is why they are here and not somewhere else. And to encourage patients of different sex to consort together is blatantly irresponsible on your part. I'm sorry, Hermione. I simply had to say it.
Do you think we should become lovers? The old game, round and round we go. Actually, I think I have had quite enough reality for one day, thank you very much. Perhaps I should retire to my boudoir. Your reminiscences are fascinating, by the way, Mr. Whatever your name is. Time to consult the inner mysteries once more back in my cell. Locked.
Who put you in here?
Perhaps we shall meet in the not-too-distant Mr. Ra?
Who put you in here?
Are you addressing me, monsieur? Do I know you? Have we been introduced?
Answer me!
To whom is he speaking? He is speaking to her, that bewitching woman, Miss Lucia Joyce.
Who put you in here?
He is speaking to me. Should I confide in him? Should he be admitted into the inner sanctum? Told what's what, when? How she arrived with emergency certificate to enter the UK, British consulate, Paris, British subject, oh, law! And a packet of lucky strikes purchased for her at the kiosk in Paris. Keep her in fags at all costs. Keep her happy. Lock the door.
Father put me in here. I was ill, you see. Dreadfully ill.
Mother dumped me with the help of that shit of a brother of mine.
Very unlikely. Well, surely it was your father.
Not my father. Not.
Fathers are in charge, always.
Not my father, damn you!
Not your mother.
What can you know of my mother?
My mother said she wished I'd never been born.
Oh,
Huh?
God.
No.
This is too much. I can't take any more, no more.
No, here. Take my hanky. Have a good blow. There. now.
Such darkness.
Huh? It's not evening, is it?
Just a song at twilight when the lights are low. That monstrous cow of a mother of mine from Galway, that she-ass on the sofa, sagging, and that stick of a brother of mine. Thin lips, twisted shit, he is determined to get me. Get her! Lock her up! Lock her up!
Oh, please. Don't scream, please.
That's enough chat for today. Perhaps tomorrow, depending upon the auspices.
Well, screaming brings it on, you see. When I hear screaming, it starts.
Brings it on? What is this? Brings it on?
Is he trying to enlist my help? Where has he come from?
You? Are you seeking help? Is that it? Want me to help? They all look for my help in here. Miss Joyce will help you. Perfectly understandable. What with the...
My grandfather was the Marquis of Queensberry.
No need to boast.
Never actually knew him.
This place is filled with name-dropping, Lord this and Lady that.
But he comes to me, you see, in the darkness. Do you have a monster, Miss Joyce? A visitor in the darkness?
Well, it has been nice meeting you. Huh? Good day.
No. I say don't go. Do stay a little longer. I just wanted to explain. She's gone. Oh, perhaps, Raymond, you are a little too forward just now. Perhaps. Yes, a bit impulsive. You are a silly boy. Telling your secret like that. Blurting it out. First meeting and all. Not decent. A wrong word, that. Oh, well. No, I shall be back at the men's side. Hurry. Harry, off to work, Raymond. Off to work. There's a good lad. There's a good lad, Raymond.
Why are you not working, Raymond? Get down to work now.
I just need to step outside for a moment.
What? Oh, very well, very well. Now, don't be long, Raymond. Don't be long. There you go.
Don't be long. Don't be long.
Now, out you go.
Yes,
Right.
don't be long. Huh?
Hello there. Wasps are swarming.
Well, who are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here. This is the men's side, you know.
Men's side, women's side, backside.
Oh, really?
Reality.
What do you
Mother.
want? Mother?
Mother? What you said before, yesterday, last month, last year, she said...
Oh, no, go away, please.
You said your mother said she wished you had never been born.
Mother? Never.
Mothers, fathers, sons, daughters, that's the real disease. Spreading through the orifices, infecting everyone.
Oh, Father.
Would you like to dance? Come,
No.
let us dance.
Now, steady on. Dance. Here, there's no music.
The music comes from the walls, pouring out. Daddy danced with me.
No.
Danced and danced, moving like oil across the floor, up the walls, across the ceiling. Dance, dance, Daddy. And then he went and married that fat sow. Dugs and belly sinking. How could he marry that ignorant heap of manure? How? What could he say to her?
Oh.
Back on your own side, miss. No, take your hands off me!
I was simply passing by, and I...
Same time tomorrow, on the dot.
Good heavens. Father did say you must choose your friends more prudently. Raymond? When did he say that? Recently? He couldn't have, could he? He's dead.
Raymond!
Yes.
Get back in here right now, Raymond. Come along.
Yes, of course. Coming. I was simply passing by, you see, and someone, that's all, nothing more.
Yes.
I was just passing by.
Come in.
Just passing by.
You are impossible, darling.
Impossible, of course. Perhaps my approach is too humane for the times we live in.
Slow down, Hermione. Slow down.
Better to cut into their frontal lobes through their eye sockets with an ice pick, would you say? or send them into convulsions with heavy doses of insulin.
We no longer do lobotomies in this hospital, Hermione. Dr. Headley put a stop to such treatments. You are exaggerating, and you know it.
Exaggerating? Where have you been living, Bobby?
And where have you been living, Hermione? Listen. What do you hear?
Here? What on earth are you going on about? I hear nothing.
Nothing. Precisely, Hermione. You know and I know that 5-6 years ago it would have been bedlam round here. Groans and shrieks and banging. And why this peacefulness? Because of talk therapy? Nonsense. Because of 1,000 milligrams of Largactil.
Oh, the pill. The pill.
Yes, the pill. Look around you, Hermione. In 10 years' time, places like this will have disappeared altogether. No more asylums.
Rubbish.
No, it's not rubbish. Patients will live in their communities. Walls will come down. Lunacy will be taken care of at the local chemist.
And at what cost?
Oh, the cost will come down. It always does with mass production.
Oh, you silly boy. You haven't the faintest idea, do you? I'm talking about pharmaceutical companies. Experimentation on the bodies of captive people. I'm talking about commerce taking over medicine, where the profit margins of drug companies will be all that matters. I'm talking about side effects. I'm talking about poor women with swollen breasts who can't sit in the sunshine after taking your wonder pill. Doctor mentioned the wretches in the ward upstairs, shaking and shuddering in the early stages of tardive dyskinesia. Cost, indeed.
I give up.
It doesn't matter which, knife or pill. What you're talking about is amputation.
Oh.
Yes, amputation. The removal of a vital portion of a person's body.
You do preach, you know.
Sorry. I should stop.
You are very precious to me. You do know that, don't you?
But why are we so different?
Well, we may differ in best psychiatric practice. That doesn't matter, does it? I say, let's pop in here.
What are you doing, Bobby?
No one will see us in here.
Bobby! No, don't.
I simply had to kiss you. Hermione.
You know, you actually don't like hearing what I have to say, do you?
Let me kiss you again, please.
And what would you say if Dr. Headley were to walk in this door?
Dr. Headley has absolute trust in me.
Do you trust me, Bobby?
Of course I trust you. What a question.
To trust someone, you have to believe utterly in their expression of feeling.
Good Lord, you do complicate things, Hermione. Life is so much more simple than that.
You are sweet, Bobby.
Let me kiss you again, darling. Why not?
It's neither the time nor the place.
Oh, look at the time. I should be somewhere else. Sorry. Must go, Bobby.
Just a moment, Hermione. Damn it, woman.
Raymond.
Have you taken your pills, Raymond? Yes, Doctor.
Raymond.
2 white, 1 green, 1...
Raymond.
Maybe never again. Speak to her.
Raymond.
Still, I would rather like to travel with her. She did promise. James Joyce. Fancy that now.
Raymond. It's me, Dr. Edwards. Can you hear what I'm saying?
Yes.
Good. Now tell me again. What happened in Nice with your father and grandmother?
Can't tell.
Yes, you can. You've told me several times before, Raymond. but I must hear it again. And you must hear it again, Raymond.
Father.
Yes? Your father?
Raymond, you were with that girl again, weren't you? Answer me, damn you!
Raymond, can you hear me?
Benson, the boy is frightened. You will not get anywhere with this lecture.
Do you mind? I will attend to this, not you.
Shake him! Look how he shakes! Absolutely terrified. Thing.
Please.
I'm here with you, Raymond.
Not terrified an hour ago, I can tell you. I had just stepped out of the hotel, and there he was on the promenade days only, with this pert madam swinging her handbag, chattering away. Good-o he was. Raymond, I must have an answer. Who is this adventuress? What is her name? Answer me!
Gladys. Her name is Gladys.
Gladys. Tell me more about Gladys, Raymond.
Summer print dress with roses, green sash and bow, white gloves, white shoes, smiling into the sun, a white smile.
What? Her father a shopkeeper in Shropshire, by gum? Oh, good God.
Benson, simply let the boy have his fling.
Bling? Never.
It's merely hygiene, Rosie. Bodily function, not sexual parts. The boy needs it, and the girl can be paid off afterwards.
Time for a good talking to, Raymond. Good talking to. Good talking. Good talking.
Standing behind the counter in the shop with Gladys, big white apron on me, weighing meal, also sugar, tying bags, ringing the till, ringing, ring, ring, doorbell rings, people talking, making jokes. Tired now. Very tired.
Yes, Raymond. Sleep now, Raymond. Sleep. August the 23rd. I can see from the window Lucia is approaching Raymond again in the garden. Have I made him more vulnerable? Perhaps he shouldn't be speaking to her just now. Perhaps she is telling him about all those dark men that she keeps on about who are about to marry her. Perhaps this would be too much for him, just now with his own secret. I do not trust anyone in this place. Except Raymond. And sometimes Lucia. Am I becoming paranoid?
Wonderful. Here's that Joyce woman again. How exciting it all is. Try to avoid eyes. Look smart now. Possible danger ahoy. Oh, hello.
Well, fancy meeting you here, Ducky. Come here often, do ya?
No, please. Got to be careful. They may be watching. Vantage points everywhere. Also, spies. For years now since the war. Krauts. Bang, bang. Machines and boxes. Hidden, recording everything.
Aren't you going to greet me?
Oh, of course. Yes, well, good.
Good. Good. What is good about it, Mr. XYZ? Have you taken your pills?
Pills? Yes, 4. 2 white, 1 green, and 1...
Splendid. Now we can be all normal.
Oh, please don't laugh like that.
Pills. La gacta. Are you on la gacta? metal. Going to blind us, that stuff. That's why they have us wearing sun hats. Lines of loonies in sun hats. Where's your sun hat?
Hat?
Sunlight. Cruel. Bearing down upon light. Sun. Sunny. Sun. Sunny. Father. Father. What does he think? What does he think he's doing under the ground?
Who?
Thy father.
Where?
Singing, laughing at us.
Is he? Good heavens, no idea.
Don't give way, Lucci. That's what he used to say to me. Don't give way to torpor. Sinking down inside yourself, cutting yourself off. And what did he ever do himself but to cut himself off? Door closed. He's gone again, off into that other world of his. Fire!
I beg your pardon?
I love fire. Mind burning. The moment the match flares, so much fire from that little light. Will you light the conflagration with me when the time comes?
Well, I mean to say, actually...
Answer me, child. Don't prevaricate. Why do you sit under this tree rather than beneath one of the other 627 mature arboreal shades within these walls?
Well,
Don't answer. I think that I shall never see a something as a tree whose... Who gives a fuck? This tree, that tree, 1, 2, 3, choice, convenience, fate?
Had a winner today.
Winner?
Kempton Park, 3:30. Owen's Habit, short head, 2 to 1, half crown each way.
There are no winners.
I do like a flutter. My father, well, he liked a flutter, my father, to the day he died, March 20th, 1945. Last thing he said, do doubles for me. Nicholson's Mount.
There are no winners!
Please, don't scream. Please. Well, ta-ta. Got to go.
Please, please. Don't leave me. Not now, not this moment. 2, 3, 4, 6 minutes. Talk, please. Thank you. You are a decent man. Not like... What is your name again?
Douglas. Raymond.
You came back to me when I asked you to.
One should try to help. My father was a writer too, you know.
Well then, we have much in common, Mr. Raymond Douglas. Sing?
Well, I don't know about that really. What I mean is,
Sing? Did he sing, your father?
No! He recited poetry. Quite a lot of poetry, actually. In fact, an excessive amount of poetry. Never stopped. Poems, poems. I think my mother may have died of poetry.
My father sang. Constantly. Even in the dark. What do you see up there?
Up there? Where? What? In the tree, is it? Can't see. Something, is it?
Look, you're not looking.
Leaves, foliage.
Look, you mouse.
Oh, please, must simply have to...
Halt! Resume your seat.
They will see us, and they will... The locked door, my watch, time.
See. Seaside. Those girls, those lovely seaside girls. Oh, I do love to be beside the seaside. Oh, I do love to be beside the sea. When the big bass drum goes diddly and bum bum beside the seaside, beside the sea. See? Do you know what I see up there on the branches?
Birds?
Babies.
Babies? Surely not. Falling? Nothing to hold. Something else, perhaps. Not always possible to be sure of what one sees.
Not angels. One dislikes angels so perfect, so mobile with their endless twittering and their molting feathers. No. Babies. These are crafty babies with mouths like holes in the ground. He sang constantly, my father. He sang.
Babies. Crikey. Well, a bit much, that is.
Dismiss. Go. Avant and quit my sight.
No need to. Leaving anyway. Got a lot on me plate just now.
Exit. Left, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right.
Errands, paperwork, correspondence, signing, busy bee.
Same time tomorrow then, same place.
Bloody glad to get out of there. Nick of time. Another second and she would have... No, keep your eyes down. Don't look back now, Raymond. Everything's shipshape, Raymond. Nothing to worry about.
The water in the taps is poisoned. Boil first. Dr. Headley has confessed all. Plot to kill the loonies.
Headley. Dr. Headley. Superintendent of the asylum. Poison? Good God, never. No. Go round the back of the chapel. There. Out of sight. Heading towards front driveway. Never mind. Keep going. Eyes down now. Look smart, fellow. Is she... No, can't see her anymore. Keep going.
Really, I should check those two out there. Call a halt to it before damage is done. As assuredly damage will be done. Damage is always done. You will make an admirable custodian of others, Hermione. That's what my mother used to say to me, even when I was quite small. But you do tend to blurt things out. That's what she used to say to me, Mother. Get you in trouble one of these days. Such a struggle between the rules and one's feelings, between what is laid down and what may be discovered, between the book and the garden. And should I report this growing... what? Flirtation? Really, Hermione, what have you been up to this time? My bespectacled colleagues, looking at me over those ovals of glass. My male controllers. Spoke with Bobby again yesterday. More veiled threats from him. Is he reporting our conversations to Dr. Headley? What is to become of the two of us? How can I possibly trust him? Where are those two? Where have they gone to? Oh, my goodness. I'd better go see.
Our front door. Almost there. I can't breathe. No one about. Is it safe? No.
Hello? Just one moment. Let me call you back. Someone at the front door. Heavens, it's one of the patients. Hello? Hello? Security? Restraint to front door immediately. Yes, a patient. Severe distress. Hurry. Thank you.
Raymond Winfield Sholto Douglas, you are a despicable orator.
Oh, please.
Just like your
father,
that despicable son of mine, Oscar Wilde.
Grandfather, please, no.
For nothing, useless failure.
Not
with
that.
wet
Not
princess
that voice, please. Let me in. Open,
not
please.
to be with the dogs. Shouldn't be in scuffs.
No.
Let's see, boy. Let everyone know. Wouldn't step up to the crease, would ya? Failed at every damn thing you did ya? End it! End it!
I will end it! I will end it!
I see him by the door. It's Raymond Douglas. Come along, Raymond.
No, get out!
Now, Raymond, there's a good lad. Grab his other arm there, Joseph, would you? Now, Raymond, you know perfectly well you're not supposed to use the front door.
End it! End it!
Raymond, patients do not enter the front door. Naughty Raymond, you naughty boy. Come along now. Come on, Raymond. Come along. Back door for you, Raymond.
Leave me alone! Damn you! It's Lucia Joyce, Dr. Edwards, as you requested, Dr. doctor.
What? No, thank you, nurse. Now, Lucia, what happened just now? Between you and Mr. Douglas? In the garden? Lucia! Come back here! Lucia, come back! Lucia! Stop it! Stop it! That's it. You can't go any further, miss. Miss Mass. You're going to stand here all the time in the world, Lucia, until you decide to stop this silly game.
Game? Yes, please. Game time.
Why did you run away like that? Was it because I mentioned Raymond Douglas? Was that it? Answer me, Lucia.
Mr. Douglas and I are about to become engaged. My fiancé will, by the by, deal with all questions.
Have you and Mr. Douglas spoken to one another about your fathers?
Mumsy.
Mr. Douglas and you share something, Lucia.
Chair, bum.
Lucia, have you talked about your own father with Mr. Douglas?
My mother and I are best pals.
I know that, Lucia.
We go shopping all the time. She loves furs and lace. I'm more the sporty type.
Do you know why you rage against her, Lucia?
Mother and I will go back to Galway together.
Your mother is dead, Lucia. Do you remember, Lucia, telling me about those dreams of yours? Of your father, and that great tree, and the dark shade, that terrible cold, and how you wanted to dance, but you couldn't dance, couldn't move from beneath the tree.
What is important in all this? Farrago, this den of chaos, dread chaos and eternal night, this house of locks, this hole full of holes, pit of shit, this prison of verbiage. What's next?
Lucia.
I cannot remember what to say next. What follows now?
Dear Lucia. Here, come and sit down. Sit, dear. There now. My dear, I am here. I will stay with you. There now. There now. Lucia, we must try to connect the fragments together, Lucia. Now, I do not wish to pry.
Spy with my little eye. Something beginning
between you two. Entirely your private business, of course. Of course it is, but...
Drink to me only with thine eyes, and I will pledge with mine, or leave a kiss within the cup.
Lucia, you see, sometimes, when we cannot face our anger against someone close to us, our father, for instance, we project our anger onto someone else. Our mother, for example, whom we love very much.
And I'll not look for wine. Da, 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 da.
I think you understand me, Lucia.
But might I of love nectar sup, I would not. My love life, I would not.
Mr. Douglas.
Mr. Douglas and I are about to leave on a European tour. Irish papers, please copy. I have not so far decided yet upon the precise itinerary. Paris, certainly. Florence, Taormina, Galway, Connemara, the Claddagh, Bowling Green. You will notice that I'm avoiding Zurich and my garrulous parents, Mr. and Mrs. James and Nora Joyce.
Your parents are dead, Lucia.
I will ignore that interruption. Mr. James Joyce, the great author, Il Miglior Fabbro, late of Dublin, and his fishwife from Galway, the slob in the chair, the heap of manure who claims to be my mother.
Don't, Lucia.
Don't, Lucia. Don't do this. Don't do that.
That's not what I meant. I am trying to protect you from yourself.
Shall I sing again? Perhaps not. Perhaps I should simply gibber in a corner, dribbling and doting and farting, awaiting my next pill with all the other loonies in the house. Would that satisfy you? I was always in the way, always an obstacle to others. Then, one day, I passed over into this other place, and everyone was relieved. I was put into the postbox and posted to Loonyland, all in sun hats. I have numerous, don't you dare interrupt me when I am speaking, you. Numerous what? Numerous servants, aides, sidekicks, enforcers, right-hand men. Yes, men, butlers, waiters, hand and foot at my beck and call. Do my will, at my service. I want to go back to Galway.
You know I am working on that, Lucia. We've talked about it. That's why it's so terribly important to get well. Follow the treatments exactly.
My mother and I are great pals now.
Yes, Lucia, I know that. Now, Mr. Douglas, Raymond...
I adore railway stations. Such promise. Mr. Raymond Douglas and Miss Lucia Joyce have left for Paris. He sits primly across from her in the first-class compartment.
Mr. Douglas is ill, Lucia.
Damn you, you dried-up prune, you withered bitch! You are incapable of love. You loveless, that's what you are.
Lucia!
Damn you! Blotting me every hand's turn. Scribbling your filthy notes, lies, twisting others through your teeth. Dead stick, shriveled up, leeching others' blood into cup. Useless she-ass, you filthy turd!
Yes, I'm fine.
No more lies.
Take her, would you, upstairs to the ward.
Come along now, Miss Joyce. No nonsense now. Come on. That's it.
Unable to love. Loveless.
Hermione, over here.
Sorry I'm late, Bobby.
Not to worry.
This is a nice tea room, Bobby.
That's what you wanted, isn't it, darling? Meeting away from the hospital.
What? Oh, yes.
Shall I pull? They have scrumptious scones here. Do try one.
Bobby, there's something I need to say to you.
Yes? What is it?
I don't think we should meet like this. Ever again.
Oh, I see. Just like that, is it?
Sorry.
How brutal.
Clarity. I'm very fond of you, Bobby. I've no doubt you will have a wonderful career. It's simply that, well, for one thing, we actually annoy one another a great deal, don't we?
It's true, I do find you infuriating at times, Hermione, but that doesn't... What about me? What do you find annoying about me?
Well, I don't wish to be hurtful, but there are times when I find you somewhat, well, immature.
Immature? Immature?
Bobby! Lower your voice.
Don't you tell me what I must not do.
I'm going to leave, Bobby.
Sit down, woman, damn you!
Lower your voice, please.
You're a prig, Hermione. You know that? An insufferable prig. You think you know everything, don't you?
Not true. Not
You
true.
think you're always in the right. Don't you see the damage you do to others with that insufferable self-assurance of yours? But no, of course not. You're incapable of seeing anything beyond yourself.
That's quite enough, Bobby. I don't wish to carry on this conversation any further.
Waiter! Waiter! May I have my bill, please? Thank you.
Where are we? Everything's dark.
On the train.
Train? Where?
Sit down.
Can't. One moment in the garden, then shed door opened, and then darkness. I can't see anything.
Sit down.
Where?
There.
Where are we?
One must believe. Believe.
But where are we?
On the train.
Train? Tickets?
Got them here.
Luggage?
Luggage rack. Guards, vans, trunks, suitcases.
Luggage rack? Where? And I've got to get out of here.
Sit!
Oh. But where are we going?
Where? Anywhere. I can take you anywhere you wish. I can do it.
Anywhere. Paris?
Oh, we've gone through Paris. Changed stations already. On the way to Lyon now.
Lyon? Good Lord. Oh, I say. What fun.
Next stop, Marseille.
Marseille? I don't remember packing suitable clothing this time of year.
Where would you really like to go? I can make anything happen, you know, anything.
Perhaps I should go back to the ward. Lie down.
Lie down? Never. That way they will have won. That way we are defeated. Never. Look outside. Everything. Racing past. Cities, trees, doctors, wards, pills, stations, everything. In a blur.
Blur. I can't see anything.
Well, that seems to be it, everybody. Nothing else on the agenda. We've covered work therapy, visitors' reports, monthly inspections. Any other business?
Superintendent, if I may?
Yes, Bobby.
I would like to raise the case of patient Raymond Douglas.
Surely that's a matter for conference.
I'm afraid, Dr. Headley, this goes beyond an individual case history. I believe it relates to general hospital policy.
I see.
Raymond Douglas. He's responded well to ECT, hasn't he? With antispasmodic. Pretty lively chap now, I'd say. On parole, isn't he? I saw him the other day, coming out of the bookies on Claw Street, clutching a £5
He's the chappie who assaulted the front door, right?
Now, Bobby, can we defer this business?
Afraid I cannot let this pass, Superintendent. Besides, I understand the matter has reached at least one member of Hospital Management Committee.
No need to ask who that might be. Usual troublemaker, I'm damn sure.
John, discretion.
The situation is dire. Could become catastrophic.
Catastrophic? Are you talking about that single fit at the front door?
No, Dr. Headley, I'm talking about policy.
Policy? What policy? Whose policy?
Dr. Edwards' policy, I believe. Douglas is her patient at present.
I see. Why is Dr. Edwards not here? Would someone go and fetch her, please? Thank you, John. Oh.
Where shall we go, lover boy?
Now, look here, miss.
Monaco. Play the tables.
I am dreadfully tired.
Saint-Tropez.
What is she saying, this woman?
Cannes, Antibes, Nice.
Nice! No, not Nice.
What?
No, not Nice. Can't. Never again.
Woohoo! Not Nice. Why not Nice?
Out! No, let me out!
Train is moving! Attention!
Father! No!
Raymond, you must never see this tart you hear?
Pay the creature off, Daisy. Give her whatever it costs.
Mother, I shall deal with this.
No! No!
Sit down! Damn you, sit down!
Well, Hermione, anything to say?
Nothing I haven't said already, Dr. Headley.
Not good enough, Hermione. Get it out. Get it out into the light. Cards on the table, now.
You know I'm trying to introduce humane treatment.
Humane? You're not suggesting, are you, that this hospital is inhumane? That's preposterous. I would remind you that we opened locked doors on the wards 3 years ago.
I know.
Introduced new fieldworks. Introduced modest rewards for work done. Extended the parole system.
Why, look at the therapeutic community and admissions.
Plus the new sports field, the weekly pictures. For heaven's sakes, woman, this place has been transformed.
I'm sorry. I didn't intend to be disrespectful to anyone. I'm simply talking about individual attention to the patient, restoring of private dignity, as a basis of therapy, of course.
Dr. Headley, may I say something? I believe we could have something very serious on our hands.
Spell it out, Bobby. Spell it out.
This patient, Douglas, is consorting with a female patient.
Do you know about this, Hermione?
Yes.
And?
And I don't think there is any danger.
Any danger? Why, the business has gone far beyond prudent practice.
Hanky-panky, is it?
It's like environmental therapy, creating an environment of as near normality as is possible. That's all.
Normality? This is a mental hospital, for heaven's sakes.
Wouldn't want this to get out. Damn Sunday papers and the like.
Very well. This meeting has ended.
Dr. Headley.
Not now, Bobby, if you please. Thank you all.
Thank
Hermione, a word. Do sit down. Now, you know, Hermione, that I have respect for your good judgment.
Thank you, Dr. Headley.
But quite frankly, you are going too far with your, zeal for interaction between patients.
But these two people share certain experiences. You said yourself that a therapeutic community in the hospital should always involve the patient as a partner. What didn't you?
But under control, under strict controls. What do you hope to effect, Hermione? Let's have it. Out with it now. No beating about the bush.
I believe a great burden may be placed upon the child of a great artist.
I see. You've thought this out, have you? Your own little theory. And now you're going to prove it, are you? Fiddlesticks, Hermione. Cart before the horse. Wrong way round. We don't start by telling patients what's wrong with them. They tell us. Observation. Probing, yes, but on what we hear.
I believe I'm right.
You know, when I started out as a junior registrar at Whale Asylum, it seems like a very long time ago now, I remember the stink of the closed female wards, the women in guard clothing, shapeless tents of reinforced cotton that couldn't be torn, locked boots that couldn't be taken off and thrown, and in the padded cells the naked wretches covered in their own filth.
Why are you telling me this now?
Why? Because when we start out, we are thinking of cures. Of course we are. We're doctors, after all, aren't we? But psychiatry is not like any other branch of medicine, Hermione. Oh, I know the claims that are being made for pharmaceuticals. Moonshine. The best we can hope for is care. Care, good old-fashioned care. Clinical management. That's what. In as decent an environment as one can bring about.
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I can't trust anyone here anymore.
Hermione, I'm truly sorry to hear that.
Coming from over there, sir.
Where?
The old garden shed under the trees.
On the double, Joseph, I'll catch you up.
Yes, sir. Seems to be locked, sir, on the inside.
Break it down, man! Break it down! Oh, it's Raymond Douglas again! Catch him, Joseph! Catch him!
Sir.
Don't touch him!
It's his journey! His journey!
Oh, good God, that woman. Here, Joseph, I'll take him. You get the woman. Get the woman.
Yes, sir.
Now, come along here, Joseph. Wait for me. You're quite all right now. You're quite all right. No, come on. Come along, Raymond. Time for a rest now, Raymond. Good girl. Good girl. Stay asleep.
Release him at once. He has to make his journey. I am simply his guide, his amanuensis.
No, miss, you come with me. Back to your own side now.
Own side? How absurd. Take your hands off me, you lackey.
You're going to come quietly now, aren't you, miss? No games now. What were you two up to in there in the shed? You can tell Joseph, you know.
Come in. Come in. Ah, Hermione. Thanks for coming. Won't take long, this. Do take a pew.
Why did you wish to see me, Dr. Headley?
All packed, are we? Good.
I really should be...
I simply wanted to ask, Hermione, what are you going to do now?
I'm going to London.
London? Splendid idea, London. Very good choice.
Dr. Fieldman has taken me on.
Ah, Fieldman. Oh. One of our German team. Gutzmann, Epstein, Meersen, Gruberg, capital fellows all. Brought a lot to this country, yes. Terrific influence on British practice. Her Hitler's loss, our gain.
Austrian.
What's that?
Dr. Fieldman is from Austria.
Austrian, German, same difference, really. No? And where does Dr. Fieldman practice, Hermione?
He has opened a private clinic in North London.
North London, eh? Freud's old stamping ground, am I right? Well, goodbye, Hermione. Rise to the occasion now, rise to the occasion.
May I see Lucia Joyce again? One more time, before I leave.
Afraid not. Even if I were to allow it, Management Committee would have something to say about that. You must understand my situation, Hermione.
Yes, of course. I understand your situation perfectly.
Now, don't miss your train. Oh, and Hermione, remember what I said to you?
What's that?
Cures. Don't think of cures. No cures now.
Looking back on it all now, I can see... Oh, yes, of course, I was a naive young psychiatrist starting out in those days. But I was to be proven right, in the end. I mean about Lucia. Her contact with Raymond Douglas really did affect her. Changed her. Gave her the possibility of love. Made her more accepting of her mother. Oh, poor Raymond Douglas. He was such a giving person. He was to die in that hospital of natural causes within 10 years. And Lucia? I met her one more time, many, many years later. Found myself at a conference in that same hospital, and on an impulse I asked to see her. By this time she was actually famous, a surviving child of the great writer James Joyce. What was she like, Hermione? People kept asking me. What does she look like? Well, she certainly hadn't lost her waspish ways, that's for certain. Still the same sharp-tongued Lucia. I said, well, she's simply this white-haired little Englishwoman serving tea in the afternoon.
Milk? Lemon?
Lemon, thank you.
Sugar? Oh, do sit down. Stop fidgeting, for goodness sake.
Sorry.
No, I do not sing anymore.
I am sorry, Lucia. You have a lovely voice.
First dancing, then singing. All silence now. Why are you asking about this man? Why not ask him himself? Go to the men's side of the wards.
Raymond Douglas died over 20 years ago.
You are a tiresome woman. This person has been sent to test me. I shall simply ignore her interruptions. Hello, more tea? Nice day, isn't it? Are you leaving soon? As for my mother, I have forgiven her.
I'm glad to hear that, Lucia.
One day, the anger just went out of me, like that. I think it was because of that man Douglas. I shall never visit Galway again. Everyone is interested in my love life, lining up with their notebooks and pencils. Who did you do it with, and how often? No need to be embarrassed. Ask away. I met my lover on the Esplanade in Nice, but Daddy soon put a stop to that lickety-split. Daddy always put a stop to the rummaging on the sofa. My lover in Nice, he was desolate.
That is the story of Raymond Douglas.
My story. My story.
Your story, Lucia. Yes, if you wish.
What a pain you are. Are you doing research on James Joyce? Is that it?
No, not that.
Then why do you feel free to ask me all these questions?
I truly no longer know the answer to that question.
He wrote me onto the page, my Daddykins. I lay spread out, spread-eagled, I believe the word is, inscribed into the paper, the blank page. My fingers were like curlicues among the leaves, my toes rooted to the baseline at the foot of the page, my torso a column breasting the opening sentence, Lucia innamorata, fixed, in place. Now, how about that? How do you know that I haven't just given you the answer that you already have prepared in your own head?
Not like that, Lucia. Not like that at all. I'm not trying to make you into something that you're not.
They come here with their questions and notebooks, and you know something? I'm ready for them.
I'm sure you are, Lucia.
I never tell them of my lover in Nice. Are you listening?
I will help you. In any way that I can.
Soft soap will get you nowhere. Finished with help. Besides, it'll soon be night again. We are born to love. Lovers, mothers, fathers, children. That is the only lesson to be learned. More tea? No? Will you do something for me?
Of course.
A letter.
A letter? To whom?
My letter. To the people of Galway.
Oh, I see. Yes, yes, of course.
You think I'm rambling again, don't you? You silly woman. Well, I'm not. My mother's house in Galway, they have told me that they are going to open it to the public, put up a plaque on the wall outside. I remember looking out of that little upstairs window all those years ago. Such a wonderful place of magic and mystery. Shall I read you the letter?
Please.
Dear people of Galway, I want to thank you for the care and attention you have given to my mother's old home on Bowling
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Before I unveil this plaque, I have a special duty to perform. I have here a letter from Lucia Joyce, the daughter of Nora Barnacle and James Joyce, and I have been asked to read it out. Dear people of Galway, I want to thank you for the care and attention you have given to my mother's old home on Bowling Green. I have many happy memories of it.
That was In the Garden of the Asylum by Thomas Kilroy. Dr. Hermione Edwards was played by Ingrid Craigie, and Lucia Joyce was Breege Brennan. Owen Rowe played Raymond Douglas. Lord Alfred Douglas was played by Malcolm Douglas. The Marquess of Queensberry by Kevin McHugh, and Lady Queensberry by Kate Thompson. Dr. Headley was Bosco Hogan. Dr. Davis was Rory Keenan. Dr. Farrer and the male nurse were played by Enda Oates, and Jerry McCann played Dr. J and the male orderly. The female orderly and the public speaker were played by Lisa Ann McLaughlin. The dramaturg was Jesper Bergman. Sound supervision was by Mark McGrath. In the Garden of the Asylum by Thomas Kilroy was produced by Kevin Reynolds.
This is The Silent Passenger by Ronan Brady.
On Saturday, June 4th, 1938, Sigmund Freud boarded the Orient Express at the Vienna Hauptbahnhof with his wife Martha, his daughter Anna, Dr. Josefina Stross, housemaid Paula Fichtel, and Lun, his dog, a Chow Chow. They were hoping to escape the Nazis and planned to resettle in London, travelling through Paris. Freud knew he was dying from cancer, but his whole household was under another death sentence for being Jewish. The journey was a last-minute gamble. This play imagines his thoughts and those of his travelling companions.
The train at platform 5 is the Orient Express to Paris, via Salzburg and Munich.
Where's your father, Emma? I didn't see him go.
He's been talking to the Gestapo. He's just writing something. He's coming back now. What did the Gestapo want, Papa?
Oh, they just wanted absolution. I had to sign a statement saying they always treated me with the respect due to my scientific reputation, that I was free in every way, and that I hadn't the slightest reason for any complaint.
You were a long time just signing your name.
Well, I also added something of my own. I can most highly recommend the Gestapo to everyone.
You what? You decided to show off at a time like this. They're still playing with us like a cat plays with a mouse, and you decide to be witty. We've lost our house, our whole way of life is going. We may just get out of here still breathing, but that's far from certain. And you have to show that you're superior.
But we are superior to them.
I know that. Anna knows that. Dr. Stross, too. Even the dog knows that. But you have to show it.
Ah, now, Lun. You need a good brushing. Here you. Mama, please sit back. We're moving. We're on our way. Don't let them see us arguing.
It's important we all rest, Frau Freud. If the Gestapo want the professor to sign that kind of document, their commanders must have decided to let us go. The British and American officials have both said we all have safe passage.
I hear what you say, Josefina. But how can we know?
I'm sorry, Frau Freud. I didn't mean to cause offense.
You haven't, Josefina. I'm just tense. I think my husband would prescribe a period of watching the scenery go by while it's still light. Siggy,
Oh, yes, absolutely.
this may be our last chance. Never thought I'd want to, but I'm looking forward to wishing the Danube goodbye.
Would you have some sandwiches, Frau Freud?
Oh, thank you.
Dr. Strauss?
Thank you.
Anna? Coffee? Shall we play a game of cards?
I'm just going to get some air, ladies. Hate really is older than love. Stronger, too. Hitler's proven that. I didn't see how powerful this mass death drive really was, nor how quickly it's grown. I saw a narcissist, and I think I diagnosed the collective neurosis. But I thought he was too stupid to succeed. I really thought the culture of the last 2 centuries was too large a meal for Hitler to eat. And there you are. He's more or less consumed Europe in 5 years. I told Princess Marie it was nonsense to suggest he'd spread his poison here in this country. Now we're only able to escape Austria because she's paid him our ransom. Talking to myself is such a relief. I find it so hard to speak to other people now. The pain can be intense. Some have false teeth. I have a false jaw in place of a cancerous one. Colleagues wanted me to leave for ages, but I refused. At first I thought uprooting would be giving in, weakening the defenses, saving ourselves at the expense of those we left behind. Then I began to worry. Could others be remaining because they see us staying? All my life I've avoided the tribal pigeonhole. Okay, we're Jews, but we're Viennese, citizens of a place with 6 languages, including Yiddish. Why should we single ourselves out? Isn't that asking to be slapped? I admit we kept our bags packed. We kept up maximum fluency in English or French, but we also spoke German meticulously, like teachers. Vienna was our place, too. But that was then. 2 days after Hitler entered Vienna in triumph, 6 brown shirts banged at our door. Paula led them into the hall. Then Marty met them with icy calm.
Please come into our parlour. It's not our habit to leave visitors standing. You'll see our accounts are in order.
You see, we knew to expect them. Their first aim was to grab the savings of Jewish families, so we'd decided to seem to comply by giving them some of our money. Marty got Anna to place 6,000 shillings on the table in front of them. Then I appeared behind my wife and daughter. I said nothing, just stared at the thugs in uniform. I didn't expect it to be as effective as it was. There was silence.
Right. Well, we'll be back later.
They didn't expect politeness. I still didn't want to leave, even though they'd taken our money and my passport. Of course, I knew they'd come back.
How dare you slam this door in our face?
Paula, let this gentleman in.
Sigmund Freud, you need to come with us. You need to answer some questions at headquarters.
Officer, my father is ill. He's unable even to climb the stairs to your offices. I can answer any of your questions on his behalf.
Well, yes, that'll do.
Anna.
Don't worry, Papa. I'll be back soon.
That was when I knew we had to go. Nobody's noticed, but I have a silent passenger here with me, in my waistcoat pocket. A statuette of Thanatos, god of death. He's a constant companion now, always there to the touch, my guide to the end. Right beside him, I have some capsules of Veronal. Thanatos has the ghost of a smile. He's happy in their company. It doesn't do to dwell on those who prove wanting, but I wonder what Jung is saying now. I gather he's recently changed his tune after jumping into bed with Hitler. Do his cheeks burn just a little in front of his devotees when he's reminded of his time with us? Does anyone dare to do that? Jung burst upon this family one afternoon 30 years ago with ideas, proposals, questions, professions of faith. We talked for 13 hours solid, through supper until well past midnight.
That paranoid ideas and hallucinations contain a germ of meaning, a personality, a life history, and your analysis of dreams helped me.
He knew that he'd encountered psychotic patients far more damaged than my clients. He described
latent psychoses. I had pulled one patient out of a psychogenic depression. He went back home and married. He began to relapse, but his wife scoffed at his moods and discouraged him from seeking help from me. He shot himself.
I had reservations about his approach to sexual neurosis, but that didn't stop me recklessly trusting Jung. I've done that too often in my life. I thought he understood the role of mythology. Instead, it turned out he'd actually swallowed the fairy stories whole. But there was one thing that worried me a bit, even at that time. We were there together in my study around 11 p.m., and he was telling some story about a dream premonition.
The shot that hit the wall in my dream was found in the room where he died. Even talking about it now, my diaphragm feels as if it's becoming red-hot iron. That's it. That exteriorization. That's exactly what I mean.
Oh, come on. You're being a bit fanciful.
No, I'm not. That's an echo of what I've been saying. And to prove it, I now predict there'll be another bang. There! You hear that, Professor?
Oh, Carl. In the next room, I had 2 heavy stone slabs, Egyptian steelies. When I investigated after you left, I found one of these had become loose and fallen. It dislodged a book which fell later. I know you're not here now, but I've never been able to persuade you that that was the case. Our friendship started to come apart when I began to realize you were determined to break off in another direction. You see, you'd found a pulpit.
Skepticism has thrown modern man back upon himself. Science has destroyed the refuge of the inner life. Freud's psychoanalysis has thrown a glaring light on the dirt, darkness, and evil in this psychic hinterland. He's taken the utmost pains to discourage people from seeing anything else.
Carl, what you wanted was consolation, and you blame me for not providing it. The wildest revolutionaries and the most virtuous believers are right behind you. But consolation is what I can never give. I just can't conjure it up.
So you leave neurotic patients with no glimmer of an afterlife? With no hope beyond what they see around them? Wouldn't the poor devils prefer to be shut up in their illness rather than entering that dreadful icy desolation?
Carl, I'm not a shaman, and actually neither are you. Such promises cannot be honestly made. You're just pretending to yourself that they can. Years ago, when Marty's and my daughter died of the flu, and then her son passed, aged only 4, I knew there was no one to blame, nowhere to lodge a complaint. You need to face that too. Instead, you make compromises. In 1934, when you came to head the psychotherapy movement, you made a huge one. We've all had to do that kind of thing. Little people like us have to protect ourselves. But you went much further. I could just about understand when you announced, 12 months into the Third Reich,
the definite distinctions between Germanic and Jewish psychology, long apparent to sensible people, shall no longer be obliterated.
Maybe you were buying time, I thought. But when 2 years later you told Time magazine,
Hitler is the medium through which German policy is revealed.
He is the mouthpiece of the gods of old.
Then I understood your approach to mythology. Just in case the Führer didn't get your point, you added,
Communistic or socialistic democracy is an upheaval of the unfit against attempts at order.
Thank you, old friend, for making that clear.
Sorry, Herr Professor. Was I interrupting?
No, Paula. Just talking to myself. I thought you were all asleep.
I think they all are, Professor. I closed my eyes, but I couldn't drift off. But are you well? Should you be out here in the cold? We're going to be at Salzburg soon, and Lund needs a walk, so I'm just waiting. But you must be tired.
You're really an old stoic, Lund. You put up with a lot. I am tired, Paula, but I just can't sleep right now. I'll come in later. Oh, by the way, Paula, I know my wife has spoken to you about this sudden move, but I haven't. I recognize how much of a wrench this must be for you, and I want to say how grateful I am that you're coming with us.
Herr Professor, I threw in my lot with this family many years ago. Coming with you is my only hope.
Really?
Professor, the local Nazi cell has been watching the apartment for the last 2 months. They vanish just before any of the family emerges. But they're there every time I go out for messages or to walk the dog. They follow me, they lean over me when I go to pay bills, and they take notes.
Well,
Sometimes they whisper insulting threats in my ear as I return. Then they open the door for me as if they were gentlemen. They have a savage hatred for you, Professor, but they're cowards. They're frightened what may happen to them if they harm a world-famous scientist like yourself.
I've always told you how good a no-nonsense psychoanalyst you really are, Paula.
Anna, are you awake? Paula has gone out to your father with the dog. We're due at Salzburg in a few minutes. She probably means to take him for a walk. Your mother's still asleep. Your father's outside still. He seems fine, but...
Josefina, I'm so glad you're here. When Max Shore took ill, I thought we'd have to manage my father without any medical help. Have you heard from Max?
Dr. Shore's going under the knife tomorrow. He's had a grumbling appendix for some time, but now it's acute. He's not worried, but he couldn't defer the operation. I haven't had a chance to talk alone with you since then. He gave strict advice about your father, and he told me he gave you Veronal. Oh, when I heard the Nazis took you, Anna, my heart stopped. What did they do to you?
First of all, Josefina, both my father and I demanded Veronal from Max. We're determined not to be tortured. We won't give them the satisfaction. My father has undergone 34 operations over the last 16 years. He's done everything possible to stay alive. He and I need life to mean something more than just suffering. I hope you're happy with that.
Anna, you know how much I respect you. That's your decision. Actually, if I could imagine myself in your position, I think I'd take poison too. But you look okay. Did they hurt you?
They just played with me. They kept me waiting in one room for an hour, then in another for even longer. They wanted me to show fear, or to get angry, to recognize that they were in control. I just did nothing. I didn't lose my smile. I didn't bow or bang the table. Then they just let me go. What? We've just stopped at Salzburg, Mama. Papa's outside in the corridor. I think he's been admiring the view, and Paula's taken the dog for a walk on the platform. You slept a while.
That man is outside all this time?
He's determined, Mama.
I think he's okay, Frau Freud.
What's all this fuss?
Paula just took Lund for a walk on the platform, and her family turned up to wish her goodbye. Then a Schnauzer tried to pick a fight with poor old Lund. Paula got him back on board just in time. Whatever about our human wars, the dog wars will never end.
You spent an awful long time before we stopped, out there in the corridor.
Marty, we're being released from a prison which I always loved. Vienna was more than just where we lived. It's where I learned whatever I know. I do also want to live in England, despite the fog, the rain, the drunkenness, the conservatism. You see, I'm between two strong emotions here, and I'm finding it a little difficult to settle. But I will come in soon.
There's another one of the Gestapo outside.
Grüß Gott. Heil Hitler. Your papers, please.
Here they are.
Whatever about the Führer, we hope not to greet God on this trip, officer.
Huh? Being smart?
No, officer. Just being polite.
Ha! You people. Take your papers, then.
That, you see, is my husband's sense of humour. Sometimes slightly out of place. I think he needs feeding. Herr Professor, can you bring me to the restaurant car? The others need a bit of rest from all this.
Should I come too, Mama?
No, darling, I really think you need some more sleep. I take it you want the soup. Anything else? No? 2 soups, please. Siggy, I know how difficult this is for you. I can see how the pain has been draining the life out of you for the last few years. I know that must be hard to bear, but it's also hard to watch. And this is sad for all of us. It's also delicate. Princess Marie may have greased the palms of the Nazi, but they may yet turn on us. Smart remarks are things we can't afford right now.
I understand. I shouldn't indulge myself.
Sigmund Freud, I married everything about you. Your atheism, your obsessions, your total inability to admit you've been wrong. But principally, I married your Kuzpa. My mother said you were too proud. Some of my relatives even told me you had the evil eye. But I married you, and I'm still here. You'll be able to thrive in London. But we have to get there. Thank you.
I know I call myself a godless Jew, but I suppose I do have one god, Logos. Sadly, he's not a very almighty one. He depends on everybody being much more reasonable than they now seem to be.
Maybe you could have been a bit more logical. It was absurd, really. Us just sitting there while the madness and murder crept closer and closer. Thousands of other Jews have been begging for years to get out and escape the Nazis. Begging, but refused. By contrast, our friends in Britain have been begging you to come, and Princess Marie has spent a fortune to make it possible. Is it any wonder people begin to doubt your judgment?
What do you mean by doubt?
We all know that what you do is brilliant, but it isn't science. You can't prove any of it. It's speculation.
Oh, we've been through this many times, Martha. It's certainly not simple science. It's not chemistry or engineering. The things we study never have just one cause. Examining the mind means turning one's own mind into a laboratory. There are consequences for that.
And those are what make it speculation. We have to take it all on your word.
I've uncovered concrete evidence.
Yes, of course you have. Evidence of what your patients think they dreamed about. Evidence of your own dreams, insofar as you can remember them. Look, I'm not denying the importance of what you do, Siggy. You've found a way for people to relax and become themselves, to face their own truth. You're a guide, an interpreter. You tell magnificent stories. But you're still a mystery to yourself. Since I realised what I'd got myself into, it took me a long time to forgive your parents for what they did to you, or rather what you did to yourself as a result of them.
So you're saying all this is guesswork? Another word for nonsense? Well, all this nonsense put food on our table, Marty, for many years.
Siggy, you stride with determination into places you know nothing about. You find things out by blundering into them. Then you try to fit them together in the dark. We didn't know these things before you, and these things matter. But you're oblivious to any chaos you may have left behind. Siggy, you're totally 20th century. But you're like those explorers of previous times who brought smallpox, exploitation, Christianity, and then announced they owned the places they merely mapped. I'm being cruel now, amn't I?
But never disloyal, Marty. It's healthy, if uncomfortable, to live with someone who doesn't have any illusions about me, but protects me nonetheless. And maybe I earned your reprimand. When Hitler had my books burned in Berlin 5 years ago, I just made jokes. That's when we should have started getting out. I suppose I thought a haughty disregard would keep him away. I had a duty to protect you and this family. If I've done that, it's only barely, and at the last minute.
Well, we're here now. Coffee? Yes, please. And the professor will have a vermouth? Yes, thank you. I do love you, Sigmund Freud. But it hasn't been easy. No God, no afterlife, no eventual peace on earth. My grandfather, a chief rabbi, and I married all that.
Careful, Martha.
Siggy, nobody can hear us here, and nobody, especially you, is more careful than I am. But I remember our wedding so clearly. You seem to enjoy going under the chuppah, all that blasphemy. But you looked at home under the canopy of heaven. And I definitely saw you smiling when you crushed the glass.
But I am Jewish. I've never been nor wanted to be anything else. And I was marrying you, not bowing down before any religious symbol. Of course I was happy. While we're on the subject of symbols, I haven't told you that I managed to smuggle out my little statue of Thanatos in my waistcoat. Nobody noticed it. I just played the frail old man when they came to search us, and they feared I might crack like glass.
It makes me sad to see you so morbid. Do you not think there's a contradiction in smuggling an image of death while trying to escape it?
Not so much an escape as a postponement, in my case at least. And sadness about the inevitable is a bit pointless.
Well, there's one other thing I want to say. I miss what my mother did, lighting the Sabbath candles and her prayer. Maybe it gives you no consolation, but I just wondered if you remember your mother taking the taper to the candles.
Yes, I remember it. But no, it gives me no consolation, any more than music or poetic effusions do. My motto was always the same as Kant's: dare to know. I always saw taking things purely on faith as a betrayal of that. I am sorry you missed the old religion, though.
Oh, well. Are you getting tired now?
Yes, a little.
In the absence of any sudden religious conversion on the railroad to Paris by my chief atheist, I suggest we return to the carriage. They'll be wondering what happened to us.
Josephine, are you awake?
Oh. Where's your father?
He's still with my mother in the restaurant car.
Is he all right? I haven't heard since they left. I really don't feel I'm discharging.
Please don't worry, Josefina. He's okay. One thing about my father everyone around him needs to know: he thinks women are more vulnerable than we are. So he thinks he's caring for my mother, while she's actually minding him. It's ironic that women play so subordinate a role in his theory, while he depends so much upon us in his real life. Here he is, in a carriage full of women, and this entire journey is due to a woman.
The princess?
Marie Bonaparte, yes. My father attracts some unusual people, and I don't like some of them. I can't think of anyone odder than the princess, and yet we love her. What do you think, Paula?
She's extraordinary, Dr. Strauss. She sometimes left Anna and me breathless. It was hard to keep up with her gathering the professor's books and personal things for transport. She's royal. Now, that doesn't come out when she's talking to you or me, but it certainly did when she talked to the Nazis. She just smiled at them, raised her eyebrows, and they obeyed. You felt they were frightened of her.
I haven't met her.
But you will in Paris if we get there. You know her story, don't you? She's one of Europe's richest women. She couldn't gain satisfaction in sex and decided she needed an operation to alter that, but it didn't. She believes Papa freed her from frigidity, even though he's not quite sure what he did. She became a psychoanalyst on the strength of that.
The night after the first Gestapo raid, she sat on the stairs outside the apartment. I was there when the Gestapo came. She just plunked herself down on the stairs in front of them. So, you're back. Well, this is Princess Bonaparte.
Hello, Colonel. You know who I am, and you know my great-uncle Napoleon was the ultimate mass murderer. But then I've always had a thing for murderers. They're so interesting, aren't they? You know I'm a student of the professor's, don't you? So I'll just be sitting here on these stairs until morning in case anyone should try to disturb the Freud family. My husband, Prince George of Greece and Denmark, knows I'm here. Oh, those royals. They cause such problems when diplomacy isn't respected, don't they?
That's right. A princess on the doorstep all night, I think. She was gone when I opened the door. But she must have stayed a long while, as the Nazis left us alone for the whole night. Afterwards, she made me swear I wouldn't tell the professor that she was even there.
My father's begun to see death everywhere. It frightens the rest of us. But Princess Marie Bonaparte makes him smile, always. He thinks she's a kind of life force. It fits that the central task she's set herself is to help women have orgasms. Oh.
Ah, welcome back, Frau. Professor, did you get something to eat?
Yes, thank you.
We're just leaving Munich.
We're leaving the city where this German tragedy began, and I didn't even notice stopping here.
I suppose we can only expect further disruption.
My dear, I think we can begin to relax from here on. You know, towards the end of the Inferno, Dante gets disorientated. He fears Virgil, his guide, is leading him down to the center of hell again, by mistake. But he loyally follows Virgil anyway, and eventually they find themselves climbing up towards purgatory and heaven.
Your father will always find a classical angle on any situation, Anna. But actually, I think he's right. We should all try to get some sleep now.
Before we do, I wonder if I could take the professor's blood pressure.
Of course.
Thank you.
Anna, could you take off your father's coat and roll up his sleeve? Well, Professor, I gather you're looking forward to living in London. Did you never think of settling in the United States?
Josefina, my father has very little time for the USA. He finds it crude and commercial.
You see, I've never really recovered from hearing the following miracle of American advertising. Why live if you can be buried for $10? It really sums up everything for me.
Now, let me get this cuff around you. Oh, I see you have a little statuette in your pocket here.
Oh, that's just a little trinket of mine. I call it one of my traveling companions.
That's good, Professor. What I expected. Let's get this thing off you and we can wrap you up again. Now, let's do as Frau Freud says and get some sleep.
Well, this is ironic, Herr Professor Dr. Freud. Me meeting you In your dream?
Mr. Panchev. Sergei, what are you doing here?
Professor, we're both here in your mind, although the roles are somewhat reversed.
I cured you years ago.
We'll come to that later. But first, I have to tell you, I met two philosophers on my way here, Nietzsche and Schopenhauer. Never heard of either of them before. Nietzsche was in very good humor, but the other fellow, Schopenhauer, was having none of that. Very dour. The jauntier one, this Nietzsche, says, Professor Freud is in there. We made up his bed for him. He's asleep now. That's the very best time to visit him. Then he nipped the grumpier one on the backside and walked off laughing. Schopenhauer was very aggrieved, trotted off angrily in Nietzsche's direction. Seemed Nietzsche was in for it. Professor, I repeat, I have no idea what that was all about. They looked to me as if, far from philosophy, they had nothing but mischief on their minds.
But where...
Forgot. Sorry. You're in dreamland, not heaven nor hell. At your age, you're much too late for limbo. No, this is where you've done your best work. I usually enjoy meeting you here, but the last time was very harrowing. You were obeying voices, which ordered you to dissect your own legs and pelvis. You saw them in front of you, as if they were in the dissecting room, and you didn't notice you'd lost any limbs, and you were struck by the absence of pain. Your pelvis had been eviscerated, and you could see thick protuberances which looked like piles.
I'm beginning to remember.
Well, you seem to have forgotten that I've been talking to you for some time. When I encountered you 5 minutes ago, you were explaining the nature of comedy.
In jokes, we are releasing repressed energy. Energy that isn't needed anymore as a result of the joke. When we say someone has a great future behind him, or that vanity is one of his 4 Achilles' heels, suggesting that he has 4 legs, we're expressing hostility towards him. We're bypassing our own internal censors and giving vent to something we usually repress.
I have to say, Professor, you are a witty man. But I think you like to cook jokes and eat them. Why else would you slit their throats and then fillet them in this way?
Sergei, if I may...
Of course, Professor.
You're even more witty yourself than I remember.
My wit is mostly hindsight, of course. Yours is richer and more spontaneous, such as when you came to address my case.
Sorry?
That dream you imagined me having. The one where, suddenly, the window of my bedroom swung open of its own accord, and I saw 6 or 7 white wolves sitting in a tree, staring balefully at me. I woke up screaming.
Yes, we spent a long time on that dream. You sketched it. You even painted it for me a few times.
But there's one problem. I don't remember having it. I do remember white sheets, but no wolves, no window. I wonder, was that your dream? I know you've persuaded yourself that it was I who had it, but I really didn't.
But why would you make that up?
To please a genius who has taken a deeper interest in me than my own parents did. Your analysis of your dream became a pillar of your analytic approach. How could I undermine that?
Oh, I think you're playing with me.
Of course I am, but only out of respect for you. I now see those infinitely clever games you've played in your time. They made people see things they could never have done without you. You made listening and caring and pulling open people's feelings a normal part of treating the terrified. You turned analysis into an art form. And you've one last game there, hidden in your waistcoat pocket. You're not escaping. You have a date with that evil, smiling statuette, and nothing will prevent you keeping it.
Well, you're partly right. I'm not escaping Thanatos, and nobody is under any illusion about that. But I'm meeting him on my own terms, insofar as I can. That's a right I demand for myself, and I believe everyone should have it too, if they want. Sergei, I see you're fading away from me.
Good night, sweet Professor. Good night, sweet Professor.
Papa, Mama, wake up! We're approaching the Rhine Bridge. We're about to enter France.
So we're actually free. Let me stand up. I want to see this. Wasn't I talking to you earlier about Dante and Virgil?
Yes, Papa.
Well, the reason Dante was confused was that he thought they were climbing down Satan's leg. But the poet didn't realize that Satan was upside down. So he was actually going up.
Oh, I'm very glad you set us right there, husband.
They finally escaped together by a hidden road to see the stars. That's how Dante's Inferno actually ends. Can you see the stars, Marty? Anna?
Yes. Yes, Papa.
You too, Dr. Strauss? Paula?
Yes, I can too.
Yes, Herr Professor.
That's all I wanted. That's what I came for.
Sigmund Freud and his travelling party did escape the Nazis. They met Princess Marie in Paris and went on to London the next day. Freud continued to practice and to write in London for over a year before his cancer became unbearably painful. He died by morphine at his own request 3 weeks after Britain and France declared war on Hitler's Germany.
That was The Silent Passenger by Ronan Brady. Sigmund Freud was played by Barry McGovern and his wife Martha was Anya Wirri. Anna Freud was played by Norma Sheehan and Catherine Walsh played Paula Fichtel. Dr. Josefina Strauss was Ali White. Carl Jung was Stephen Brennan. And Princess Marie Bonaparte was played by Catherine Walker. Al McKenna and Carl O'Neill were the Gestapo officers, and Sergei Pankachev, the Wolfman, was played by Andrew Bennett. Other parts were played by members of the company. On sound was Gar Duffy. The Silent Passenger by Ronan Brady was directed by Daniel Reardon.